for your IB MYP community project, you will be assessed. In other words, you will be graded. And this grade will actually appear on your report card. And you will be assessed based on 4 different criterion. Criterion A, investigating, Criterion B, planning, Criterion C, taking action, and Criterion D, reflecting. They are all equally weighted with a maximum of 8 points. So Criterion A is going to be the focus of today's video, which focuses on investigating. The 3 strands for Criterion A investigating are, the first says to define a goal to address a need within a community based on personal interest. But let's think about what that means. So obviously you want to pick something that you're interested in, so base it on a personal interest, but the biggest thing is you have to define your goal that addresses a need within the community. So you can't just pick something that you're interested in if there's no need for it. So you need to do research and actually prove that there is a need for your project within the community. The second strand, identify prior learning and subject-specific knowledge relevant to the project. So you need to figure out what you already know that will help you with this project. And then demonstrate research skills, which sometimes can be difficult, but you actually have to put in a lot of work and you have to show what you have researched. It cannot just be, I'm doing this project because I want to do it. No, you have to do research to prove the need, to also help you prove what needs to be done to address that need. Now let's take a look at the rubric. So here's the rubric. Points 0 through 8, and let's talk about what kinds of projects will grant you certain grades. So, achievement level 0, students do not achieve a standard described by any of the descriptors below. But let's now look at 1 and 2. State a goal to address a need within a community based on personal interests, but this may be limited in depth or accessibility. Identify prior learning and subject-specific knowledge, but this may be limited in occurrence or relevance. And then demonstrate limited research skills. So the key word in this is limited. It means that you have hit every strand, but it's very limited. And notice, I want to take a moment to look at this very first strand. State a goal to address a need within a community. That goes back to, you can't just pick a project and do whatever you want because you like to do it. You have to address a need within a community, and that's to get even the lowest possible points of 1 or 2. So you have to hit every strand, but if they're limited in your depth, then the score would be a 1 or a 2. Alright, moving into the 3 to 4 range. Outline an adequate goal to address a need within a community based on personal interests. You identify basic prior learning and subject-specific knowledge relevant to some areas of the project, and demonstrate adequate research skills. So you still hit every strand of the investigating rubric. And it's just a little bit more in depth than the 1 to 2 range. If you look at strand 2, it says basic prior learning and subject-specific knowledge relevant to some areas of the project and maybe not all areas of the project. So it's one step higher than that 1 to 2 range. Okay, now the 5 to 6 range. This would be considered a very good grade, 5 to 6. Students are able to define a clear and challenging goal to address a need within a community. So you're not just finding a need within a community, well, it's defined and it's clear, but it's challenging. I would say that is kind of the biggest difference between the bottom half of the rubric and the top half of the rubric, is looking for something that's challenging. You identify prior learning and subject-specific knowledge generally relevant to the project and demonstrate substantial research skills. So you've done a lot of research. I think sometimes the Strand, 8th graders tend to maybe go light on. They just want to do a little bit of research and then get their hands wet and start on the project. But it's very important that you are putting a lot of time into your research of your project. Alright, and now the 7 to 8 range of the rubric. Now this is kind of going above and beyond. This is define a clear and highly challenging goal. So it's basically you've defined a goal, you've defined a challenging goal, and now it's a highly challenging goal to address that need within the community based on personal interests. And then the prior learning and subject-specific knowledge is consistently highly relevant to the project. And then demonstrate excellent research skills. So it's top-notch on all 3 strands. So there is the rubric for the first criterion, Criterion A, the investigating part of your project.